ever been there? That gut-wrenching, soul-crushing moment where it feels like the world just fell out from under you? A massive setback at work, a failed venture, a relationship that unexpectedly crumbled, or even a devastating loss in a game you poured your heart into. That feeling of being utterly defeated, staring at the wreckage of what was, wondering if you'll ever truly recover? I know that feeling all too well. It's like a physical punch to the stomach, right? Well, what if I told you that you don't have to wallow in that despair for days, weeks, or even months? What if there was a way to not just cope with loss, but to instantly start bouncing back, transforming that crushing blow into momentum for your next win? Sounds too good to be true? I get it. But stick with me because today I'm going to share some powerful, actionable strategies that I've personally used and seen others use to flip the script on setback and regain control, often within minutes. This isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about processing it and moving forward with purpose. When a crushing loss hits, our immediate reaction is often a cocktail of emotions: sadness, anger, regret, and sometimes even self-blame. We start telling ourselves stories. I should have done this differently. I'm not good enough. This is the end. These stories, while natural, are often lies we tell ourselves in the heat of the moment. They keep us stuck. But the first step to bouncing back isn't to fight these feelings, it's to acknowledge them, understand them, and then gently guide your mind towards a more constructive path. My first immediate bounce-back strategy is what I call the 5-minute mourn and move. It's incredibly simple, but profoundly effective. When that crushing loss hits, you're allowed to feel it. Give yourself a strict, timed window, say 5 minutes, to fully experience that pain, frustration, or anger. Cry if you need to, shout into a pillow, vent to a trusted friend, or even just write down every negative thought that comes into your head. Have you ever felt like you had to pretend you were okay, even when you weren't? Let me know in the comments below. Many of us do this, trying to be strong, but sometimes that suppression just makes it worse. The key here is the limit. After those 5 minutes are up, you consciously decide to shift. You acknowledge the feeling, thank it for the lesson, even if you don't know what it is yet, and then you physically move. Go for a walk. Do some push-ups, put on your favorite pump-up song, and dance like no one's watching. This physical shift helps break the emotional loop and signals to your brain that it's time to change gears. Once you've moved past that initial emotional wave, the next step is crucial: the detached review. This is where you transform victimhood into valuable insight. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" My personal opinion is that every single setback, no matter how painful, contains a hidden lesson, a piece of wisdom that will make you stronger and smarter for your next endeavor. The trick is to look for it dispassionately. Think of yourself as an objective third party. What went wrong? Was it a lack of preparation, an unforeseen external factor, a mistaken judgment? Was there something you could have controlled that you didn't? Let me give you a personal example. Years ago, I invested a significant amount of time and effort into a project that I thought was a sure thing. I poured my heart into it, only for it to completely fall apart due to a market shift I hadn't anticipated. It was a crushing loss, financially and emotionally. For a few days, I was devastated. But after my 5-minute mourn and move, I sat down with a blank notebook. I didn't blame anyone. I just analyzed. My lesson: I realized I had put all my eggs in one basket and hadn't diversified my efforts or deeply researched market trends beyond my immediate industry. This wasn't a failure of me, but a failure of strategy. That brutal lesson was painful, but it directly led to my next successful venture because I approached it with a much more robust, diversified plan. This brings us to strategy 3, reframing the narrative. Our brains are storytelling machines. After a loss, we often tell ourselves a story of an ending. My career is over.
I'll never find love again. I'm a failure. But what if you could change that story? What if this isn't an ending but a pivot point, a redirection, a new beginning that wouldn't have been possible otherwise? Imagine if the greatest successes in history were born from their biggest failures. Do you think that's just a coincidence, or is there something more profound at play here? This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. Instead of seeing a closed door, see a pathway opening to something new. It requires conscious effort, especially when emotions are high, but it's a muscle you can train.
Here's an extra tip that might seem counterintuitive when you're reeling from a loss. Practice gratitude. Even amidst the pain, force yourself to find 3 things you are genuinely grateful for. They could be something as simple as having a roof over your head, the support of a friend, or even the lesson you just identified from your loss. Gratitude shifts your brain chemistry, pulling you out of a scarcity mindset and reminding you of the good that still exists. What's one small thing you're grateful for right now, even if you're facing challenges? Share it below. It's amazing how powerful acknowledging even the smallest blessings can be. My 4th strategy is about action, no matter how small. After a crushing loss, inertia is your enemy. The longer you do nothing, the harder it is to start. So, identify one tiny, almost ridiculously small step you can take right now to move forward, even if it's not directly related to reversing the loss. For example, if you lost a big client, your tiny step might be to update your LinkedIn profile or to send one email to a past contact. If a relationship ended, it might be to clean one room of your house or call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. The goal isn't to solve everything. It's to create momentum. One tiny win leads to another, and soon you're building a new trajectory. If you're finding these strategies helpful and want more actionable advice on building resilience, overcoming challenges, and unlocking your full potential, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I release new videos every week designed to empower you. When we face a crushing loss, our instinct can often be to withdraw, to isolate ourselves. My personal opinion is that this is one of the most detrimental things we can do. Strategy 5 is lean on your tribe. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or mentors. Share what you're going through. You don't need them to fix it. Sometimes you just need someone to listen, to validate your feelings, or to remind you of your strengths when you've forgotten them. Have you ever noticed how much lighter a burden feels when you share it with someone who truly cares? There's a reason for that, and it's not just about venting. The act of vocalizing your experience to a supportive person can be incredibly therapeutic. It externalizes the problem, making it feel less overwhelming inside your own head. Plus, an outside perspective can often spot solutions or lessons that you, in your emotional state, might completely miss. Another crucial extra tip: do not neglect your physical well-being. When you're dealing with emotional stress, it's easy to let healthy habits slide. But sleep, nutrition, and exercise are not luxuries. They are fundamental building blocks for your mental and emotional resilience. Even a short walk, a healthy meal, or making sure you get 8 hours of sleep can dramatically improve your capacity to process loss and strategize your comeback. Your body and mind are interconnected. Nurture one, and the other benefits. Remember, bouncing back instantly doesn't mean the pain disappears forever. It means you regain your footing, gather your strength, and start moving forward, even if it's just one tiny step at a time. True resilience isn't about never falling. It's about how quickly and effectively you get back up. Every single person who has achieved anything significant has faced crushing losses. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't the absence of failure, but their immediate proactive response to it. Think about your own life. What's one past setback that in hindsight actually led to something better? I bet you have at least one. That's the pattern we're talking about, turning loss into leverage. What's the biggest loss you've bounced back from? And what was your key takeaway? Share your story in the comments below. You never know who you might inspire. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable. It helps me create more content like this for you. You are stronger than you think. This crushing loss you're facing right now,
It doesn't define you. It's a chapter, not the whole story. By using these strategies, mourning with a limit, learning objectively, reframing your narrative, taking tiny actions, leaning on your tribe, and prioritizing your well-being, you not only bounce back, but you come back stronger, wiser, and more prepared for whatever comes next. Don't let a setback paralyze you. Instead, let it propel you. You've got this. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos here for more tips on resilience and personal growth. Until next time, stay strong, keep learning, and never stop bouncing back.